Hello there and welcome back to Autism at Home, brought to you by us at Early Autism Project Malaysia through our non-profit initiative, The Hope Project. My name is Jochebed Isaacs and this is our 28th unit on Autism at Home, and it's all about food challenges with children with autism. Now, feeding-related concerns are common in children with autism spectrum disorder, and some of the common concerns include limited food preferences. Some children completely refuse food or have resistance to trying new food or any changes in their food. Some may have difficult eating routines, such as not being willing to sit at the dining table, eating only with screen time, needing to be fed, maybe playing or throwing food, and essentially resulting in very difficult and long mealtime routines. Some children on the spectrum may have difficulty with eating solids and be stuck with liquids or pureed foods. And some children may have extreme inflexibilities, such as only drinking from the same milk bottle or water bottle or refusing to eat outside of the home. Additionally, some parents have noted that looking back at pre-diagnosis of autism, that they realized that their newborn child actually even struggled to latch on to their mom for nursing. Now, the prevalence of feeding problems in children with ASD may be up to 90%. Almost 70% of children on the spectrum are described as picky eaters. Additionally, children with ASD may also have other food-related concerns like food allergies, nutritional deficiencies, gastrointestinal concerns, oral motor concerns, as well as difficulties in chewing and swallowing. Now, these are just some of the examples of physiological concerns and would typically require intervention and treatment from medical specialists and speech therapists. So in any of these cases, further assessments by a related specialist should be done to identify the appropriate treatment plan for the child. We hope to be able to provide some helpful tips in this 28th series on Autism at Home that will include this lesson, which is just a general introduction to food challenges. Then in the next lesson, we're going to talk about starting right with healthy eating routines, increasing food choices in the natural environment, food tolerance, which is a much more structured approach to increasing food desensitization, increasing nutrition, and finally eating independently. And as we go through this series, it is important to note that part of the diagnosis of autism can include highly restricted interests, being insistence on sameness and inflexibilities, as well as sensory-related issues, all of which contribute to why eating can be very challenging for some on the autism spectrum. And therefore, actually, before we start tackling eating, which can be quite a challenging task, in fact, FYI, at EAP, we usually don't even start working on eating or toileting until our kiddos have actually been in our program for at least 1 month. And we have built that strong sense of rapport, trust, as well as hopefully some of those prerequisite skills which I wanted to remind everyone before we start. We have developed the building blocks of learning at EAP, and this means that every child needs to have their foundational skills developed in order to learn more complex skills, particularly cooperation as well as flexibility. Therefore, in order to tackle flexibility in eating, a child needs to be working in overall flexibility, starting off with much easier areas such as being able to tolerate transitions, waiting, changes, and the list goes on. All of which we actually teach from the very beginning of our programs, and you can start immediately as well if you haven't already. Unit 4 on our Autism at Home channel is all about teaching cooperation, and Unit 7 is all about teaching flexibility. And we would certainly encourage parents to strongly start working on that today. And now it's your turn. Firstly, make a list of all the foods that your child is willing to eat, as well as foods that they absolutely refuse. Is there anything that stands out about their preference? For example, is it the type of texture, like do they really like to eat soft foods or crunchy foods? Or is it taste, like only very salty foods or only sweet foods? Or does it have anything to do with the color or the packaging or even the smell? Then you want to check out, is there any specific food that they refuse, or is it just different, anything different from their preferred food? Secondly is to write down your child's current eating routine and level of independence. For example, are they able to sit at the dining table or do they need screens? Or is an adult following them around the house? Are they eating on their own or needing to be fed? And lastly, what is your family's main priority? It could be to just get your child fed a full meal, or it could be to sit properly at the table, or is it to eat a variety of food? Try to write down all the different goals you have, but to choose one specific priority for the start. So that's it for our first lesson on an introduction to food challenges with children with autism. The first tip will be explained in further detail in the next lesson, which will be all about starting right with healthy eating routines. Do subscribe to keep updated, and we'll see you soon. Also, with thank you for your support and with the amount of interest we have received online, we have actually started providing online services, and I've worked over the years with clients in other states of Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Philippines, China, Kuwait, New Zealand and Switzerland. So do scan the QR code below and get in touch with us for more information. If you haven't already, do check out our free online resource platform, Autism at Home, which has all the corresponding articles and downloadables for you. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram and Facebook to stay updated. Take care, and we will see you soon.